Hi, I'm Linda Eastburn, and this is Intuitive Journeys. I'm training a team of intuitive remote viewers, and we are on the hunt. We're stealth detectives, using only the power of our minds to get real-life answers. We have some new students: Dr. Mary Sudeth, Drew Pierce, Tiffany Renee Samples, Jeremy Jackson. We welcome them all to the show and wish them the very best in being able to accomplish intuitive remote viewing. I had to bring the lime trees in because it got cold. You know, we're coming up on fall and winter, and the nights were getting down to like 40 degrees, so I had to bring the lime trees in. But just today, I noticed that this lime was produced by one of the trees, and it is just so much fun to have a lime I can actually use. Even though it's small, I'm still going to use it. It's just so fun. With new students, we have to start from the very beginning, which is simply drawing an image that is hidden from them in an envelope. Here's Tiffany and Mary trying to draw an image from an envelope. Let's just see how much fun they have. Not doing it so well, but yet they're trying. We have been working on our images, just drawing an image. And Tiffany, this is your very first try at this. Yes. I'm sure that's a little intimidating. What am I supposed to draw? What am I supposed to do, right? Mm-hmm. But I do see that you drew something. So now we get to look at the image and compare it with what you drew. Okay, so what did you draw? What is that image?
I really wasn't sure. Something textured and natural was what I was kind of seeing in my mind. Okay. And I had almost like a fall setting, like the cornucopia kind of thing, like kind of flashing through, but some natural colors.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. And Mary, what did you draw?
I saw purple.
Okay.
And I thought I could hear insects. And I also saw like tire tracks, or like people had been there. Mm-hmm. What I think this is, it's about 100 foot tall, yellow-green in color, has a smooth back, like maybe the back of a hill, then comes up. Possibly there's an animal at the top, and then a smooth plateau, a gradual drop at the back, civilization behind that.
So it's a a landscape setting of some sort, right? Yeah. Well, it's a typewriter.
Yeah. I think they were writing a story
about. Well, does any of that fit? It's even black and white. It's really not even.
It's nowhere close. The dog might have been on a hill close to this.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we are going to do a real one now. Even though we've been doing just those simple drawings, this is where it can really get interesting in the intricacy of what you can actually obtain. This is a location. It is a location of a business. So there's lots of sensory information that you can get at this location. There's also some unusual activity happening at this location that you might pick up on that as well. So I not only want you to tell me what the outside looks like, what the inside looks like, get all of the senses wrapped around this location, within, without, and then tell me what the really bizarre stuff that's going on there is about as well. Does this make sense, Drew? Mm-hmm. Jeremy? Because you guys are new, and he's done this before, so he knows where we're going. So the number, and I want you to write this on your paper. I want you to write your name, today's date, and the remote viewing session number is 3811. That's our target today. 3811 is our session. Okay. Everyone has been working on target number 3811, which, as I described to you, it's a location, and we were working on getting everything about that location that we could pick up with our five senses. Drew, what did you find?
It's mysterious and has fruits, or had fruits at one point in time. It's artistic, and it's a new location for this business. Onions, good smells.
Okay, you could smell onions and you could smell some foods there.
Yes, they cook foods here all day, and they just kind of permeate everything.
Jeremy, what did you get?
Okay, the dark gray. So there's a lot of buzzing. It's open, so I didn't get the feeling that I was inside necessarily, but more outside. Tall, intrigued, rough, hard, orange. I don't know where that came from. Square and linear. And what I said and what I drew here was downtown on a Friday night, street performers and homeless were vying for the attention of the passers-by. It's dark outside, but the street lights illuminate the faces of all those around.
Okay. I can say that Drew was the most accurate. This is a restaurant, but it's also on Commercial Street, which is not downtown, but it's close to downtown, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it does have a lot of homeless people nearby. Street performers, I don't know, probably, some probably. Decorative, colorful, the place is 2-story. Mm-hmm. There's and very tall ceilings, very old building, very, very old building. Orange is kind of part of that outside structure. It's always fun to go somewhere after we remote view a place and see if we were actually there. Time travel is what I call it. We're looking into the future at a point in time where we're going to be somewhere. We're headed toward a remote viewing site that we all remote viewed a few days ago. So we're going to check it out and see if they got anything correct on that. We're going to meet Drew down there for sure, maybe Tiffany. But when we get there, we will find out if we got any of this correct or not. So we're coming up on the street where the business is that we remote viewed. And what we're seeing are lots of tall buildings, kind of a downtown looking area, older buildings, very tall, a lot of brick, side by side. Does this look familiar to either of you?
Yes.
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 Okay, good.
Yes, I got that.
I did see the 2-story buildings and the windows and the doors and the corner. The fact that it was on a corner street with pedestrian crossings. I got that for some reason. That's what I saw.
And I think you also saw it was a downtown setting, kind of homeless people and musical.
A wide variety of people. The music and the lively nature of the space. I got that, I think, right? Yeah.
That was good detail.
The minute we walked in, there was this beautiful, bright orange wall that someone remote viewed. And it's very vibrant. I'm not sure it's coming through as vibrant as it looks, seeing it in person, but there's this orange and blue just everywhere. Lots of flowing curtains and just a very ornate and lots of onion and garlic smell. It's just very potent with sensory input here everywhere. Drew, this is the place that we remote viewed the other day. Just tell me what you're getting here that reminds you of what you remote viewed.
Well, the first thing I thought of was cooking. It smells like herbs, onions, garlic, kind of a Spanish flair to it. And that's the first thing that struck me. So that started my other senses. And so I guess the restaurant. And that was that.
Okay.
What I saw was the linear space. The linear space, like the space where we're sitting here, the sidewalk eating space.
I remember that the building was on a corner, and I got the colors red and orange. The door, the
Angled door.
the angled door, I think I saw that from overhead.
We have lots of accuracies with colors, the flare of the space, the smells in the space, as well as the feeling on the street, the type of old downtown building. It's all here, and we got a lot of it accurate. Wow, look at this spread we have. I'm setting up for the brunch we're going to have. We have this apple pie to die for. It's going to be hard to stay out of that thing before the brunch. And then we have this pumpkin roll with cream cheese filling. We have this great pumpkin roll with cream cheese filling. Also another thing that will be difficult to stay out of before our brunch. I already got into the bagels. I may have to go buy more bagels. Drew's a very new student, and we welcome him to the class. He has no idea how to draw an image that's hidden from him in the envelope. But let's watch what he can do here. As he's drawing this sailboat, it looks very simplistic. But when we open up the envelope, we see that it was actually a sailboat. Can you imagine your very first try drawing at this accurately? That gives him a lot of hope. And sometimes it works that way. Sometimes it's very good. But I have high hopes for Drew. I think he's going to be a really good remote viewer as the class progresses. Some time back, I received a letter, and that letter stated that I was the victim of some kind of a hit-and-run accident. Well, I couldn't remember any kind of an accident that I had ever been in that was a hit-and-run. So I put it in front of the remote viewers to find out what they saw. This is what they perceived. Okay, Sid, let's start with you. Why did I get this mysterious letter?
I have that it's a mistaken identity.
Okay.
That I feel like there was a number transposed, either an address, social security number, driver's license number, but
Okay, something.
there was a glitch and something got.
Because they have my name and my address. I mean, all of that was
Right.
correct on what I got, but obviously the identity was, so somebody out there's a victim's not going to get that letter, right?
Exactly.
Okay, how about you, Mark?
I feel the same way. False identity. Maybe they got your license plate, and after it happened, like, oh, there's somebody that we can use to accuse.
Okay, and how about you?
Pretty much the same idea, mistaken ID. What I got was that it was based on the car title number, and it really wasn't the lawyer's problem. It was a clerical error from the license bureau.
And now this is what I perceived in an intuitive session. Here's just my session on the letter I received from the prosecuting attorney. We see there was a notice sent, but we see that was some time back. We see that this is a reluctant invitation because we do see that it has been some time. We see that space of time being quite relevant. We see that there is accuracy within the context of the letter, even though there is not memory, there is context that is accurate. So we would suggest pursuing whatever the context of this may be, because we do see it to have been relevant more at the time perhaps than it is at the current time. We do not see any real repercussions that will be rewarded to you from this hearing. We do not see an importance of attending, but we do see that there is accuracy in the letter and would suggest pursuing that to see what that accuracy is. Okay, well, I guess that's what I will do.
Victim Witness Office, can I help you?
Yes, hi, my name is Linda Eastburn, and I received a letter about a case that it says I'm a victim to, but I have no knowledge of this at all, and I was wondering what I need to do to figure out what is going on with this.
Okay. Well, we will figure that out for you.
Okay.
Let me see if I can pull it by your name. Do you by chance know Aaron?
The name doesn't
Should have
sound familiar at all.
It doesn't sound familiar. Okay. All right. It looks like it's tampering with a motor vehicle or leaving a scene of an accident and property damage. You don't have a advocate on this, so.
Do you have a
let me look
location?
here. You may have been a witness. Let me double check. Nope, you're actually the first victim on the list.
Do you know
So,
where the accident happened or where the situation occurred?
Yes, I can let you know that. And I can also give you, he is actually the prosecutor on this,
Okay.
so we can let you know. You don't remember the accident at all? Let me look at
No.
the date real quick. It's back in March of 2019, so that's been quite a while ago.
It has, but I haven't been a participant in any accidents. So, even that far back.
No property damage or anything like that?
Well, that's what I was wondering if you have an address as to where it happened. There was an accident that happened, I think a car ran through a fence on one of my rental properties.
That's it, yes.
And what was
That
the
would be
address
it.
on there? Yeah. Was that on Street?
What street?
Street?
It's on West.
Okay.
Yeah, I probably should put you to,
Okay, yes.
because it does show that you are the victim on it.
Yes. Yeah, I owned that property at
Okay.
that time, yes.
Oh, you own the property. Okay.
I owned it at that time, yes.
That's what it is. Yeah, if you're the owner of it.
I'm often asked the question, how do you know if you have an intuitive impression as opposed to perhaps just a thought of some sort that just comes into your mind? And I can say for myself and for many others, it's my body is able to sense that. There's a feeling that I have inside. And for me, if I actually speak the words, I get a sense if I'm telling the truth or if I'm not. And it sort of channels through my heart if I perceive that it's an accurate piece of information or if it isn't. So sensitivity is also a very key and important role in intuitive remote viewing. Sensitivity to your five senses, exercising perception through your five senses is good. Even just sitting in a room and listening, what are you hearing? What are you tasting? What are you feeling? What is the air like? Just describe with your five senses everything around you. That helps you become more attuned to your body and what you're picking up on. Now, when you go inside internally and pick up on that sensory intake, you can use that same skill of being very aware of your body and being sensitive and being able to be more accurate with the information through that resource. Sensitivity is a very strong part of intuition. There's a legend in Hawaii that apparently the goddess of fire, volcanoes, doesn't like it much when you pick up some of the volcano rocks and take them home with you. Well, maybe that's true. Many people seem to have taken this to heart. They get home with a volcanic rock and suddenly some really bad things start happening to them. Or at least they perceive the rock might have had something to do with this, because there is a curse on all of the lava rocks that are removed from the islands. It just so happened that I have a client that wanted me to look at a lava rock she possesses. It seems that when she became in contact with this rock, and it was actually given to her, she began to experience several years of some really bad luck, or what she considered bad luck. Some really tragic things began to happen. And she started studying this curse, and she thought, well, maybe the lava rock had something to do with that. I'm not sure. So I put it in front of the intuitive remote viewers to see if they saw any kind of odd or unusual energy around her lava rock. Let's see what they had to say. We have target number 7996, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what you're going to be looking at. This is an object, and the object has a certain energy about it. And I want you to describe what that energy is and why it has that energy to it. let's start with you, Dylan. What did you get on target number 7996? We're looking for the energy of this object and the energy of the object.
I don't know, I got a lot of like happy, like playful, maybe menacing and in a playful way, you know, like jokester kind of energy is kind of what I was feeling.
Mm-hmm. So the energy is kind of fun, playful, and kind of a jokester energy.
Yeah, I feel like there's an attachment there to an item.
Okay.
That there's a spirit attached or some kind of attachment to an item.
Okay. Okay. Mark?
I was thinking it's a geostone or a crystal.
Okay. And what kind of energy did that have?
Like earth energy from the earth.
Energy.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Mark?
The feeling I got from it was sinister, frightening, better leave it alone.
And David?
Well, the first thing when I held the envelope was a coin came to mind, but then as I kind of went into it, it's more like an amulet or a little cross or something with maybe somewhat religious significance. It has a blessing on it of prosperity and protection.
I decided to take a look at the lava rock myself to see if I saw any properties there that would have caused any form of destruction or distress for our client. So I'm going to go in now and just connect with the lava rock and see what I can see. We do not see any energies per se with this particular rock that would have any grand influence upon this woman's life, good or bad. We just see that it is simply an object and a thing that she possesses. However, we do see that it does have what I would refer to as a constant reminder. We see the location of the rock, the circumstances around the time that she actually did come into possession of the rock. We do see that there were many, many things happening and many things begin to tumble at that particular time. So the rock is more of a reminder of some of the things that begin to destruct around her at that course in time in her life. And so we do see that there is in some ways a projection upon the rock from her own mentality as they're again reminding her of the many things that have occurred since that time. We suggest that she began to balance that energy with some good memories throughout that duration of time. Not everything was destructive. There was often an angel on her shoulder that did help her and guide her and enable her to be able to get through some of those moments that were very uncomfortable for her. But we see the rock in and of itself does not possess that. We see that if she begins to project good memories during that time frame, just writing those down would be good. Reading those often would be good. She will begin to have a different kind of association with the rock than she has now. Right now, she's a little bit at angst with the situation because she fears that the rock has more power than it does. And we see that she needs to take back that power within herself and begin to own her own destiny rather than to give that to something like the lava rock. Well, that's what I saw. So I hope that helps her. I hope it enables her to empower herself and to find her own sense of worthiness to own the rock still and to give it blessings and to allow it to incorporate itself in her life in a more positive way. Empathy is still another part of the intuitive process that can be extremely helpful. Being able to empathize with another person, put yourself in their shoes, so to speak, is extremely valuable. Let's recap the show today. We went to a restaurant in a downtown area, and it looks like Mary got a very accurate drawing of the place. It's a really top hit because a lot of buildings are in a downtown area. But this one she drew as having a corner entrance where the corner is actually cut off of the edge of the building. So that's a very unique observation that she had in the remote viewing session. So I'm going to give her a really top hit for that. The next one is Drew. Drew got that we were going to a restaurant. He could smell the odors. Even the type of food that they cooked there was accurate, with lots of onions and garlic and just a really pungent smell. So Drew also was really top of the line in getting that correct. Jeremy got a downtown setting, tall buildings, an intersection, but of course, there are a lot of downtown buildings and there are a lot of buildings that are on intersections. Now, this was a pretty good hit. Now, both Mary and Journey got orange. The colors inside the place were vibrant orange. The walls were painted a very deep, rich orange color. Mary got red as well to add to that, and there was a lot of rich red inside the building as well. So that's another kudos for Mary, and a really good mark also for Jeremy. Moving on to the lava rock episode, Mark McGarry really hit this one, identifying it as a stone, a rock, a stone, or some kind of an earthy quality to it. It was rough. He got the color right. It was a rough structure. He really nailed it, I think, on this. And we give him about a 75% for getting the object itself. He really didn't get anything as far as the curse goes. He just got an earth energy, which is kind of what I saw too. The others were all over the place. We had everything from a playful energy about it to a sinister energy to want something that was blessed and more of a very positive spiritual blessing energy. So those were just sort of all over the place. Now, of course, on the lava rock, I got, regardless of the curse or no curse, just some really good practical advice in helping this person, our client, to take back her own power and to own that and to move forward with, in a positive way, in charge of her own energy field and not allowing this rock to anymore have any kind of influence over her thinking anyway about it. The other session that I did was on the situation that I had with the incident, the accident. And even though I had absolutely no memory of it, even after doing my session, I had no memory of the situation. It did offer clarity. It nailed it as far as being able to see that, yes, it was real, it was relevant, it wasn't a mistake. Just check it out and you'll find out, which we called and did find out. So we had some really good sessions in this episode, and I think I am very proud of all of us. Join us next time when we look for an ancestral gravesite for a woman. If you like the show, like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.